in this episode, everybody ends up going to Cabo for Yandy and Mendeecees couples trip, and Bambi ends up arriving separately with her boyfriend Ray, and she's doing that because she's nervous to bring him around the group, especially because most of the guys on the trip are friends with Scrappy, so she just doesn't know how things are gonna go. And honestly, she was right, because based on how things went as soon as her and Ray showed up, I can understand why she was nervous. Because as soon as Bambi and Ray show up on the trip and she introduces him to everybody, Zane is acting weird towards the two of them, and he's in his confessional saying that he's used to seeing Bambi with Scrappy, and he knows how much Scrappy cares about Bambi, so it's awkward to see her with somebody else. And that was weird to me that he would even say something like that, because while he's sitting over there calling Bambi out for being with this new guy, Scrappy is having a baby with a whole different woman, and he's been moved on from Bambi, so I don't understand why he's doing this. It's just weird. Now, Scrappy did not end up going on the group trip to Cabo because he's expecting his new baby soon with Shakira, and so he ends up doing a podcast episode, and he ends up bringing Mama D as one of the guests, and she ends up pulling out a DNA test, telling him that as soon as she has that baby, he needs to immediately get a DNA test. And look, I don't think she's wrong for wanting Scrappy to get a DNA test, but I did think that it was messy for her to pull that out on the podcast. But honestly, I don't feel bad for Shakira, because honestly, I'm not really feeling her, because recently, Mama D was online trying to drag Bambi again, as she always tries to do, and Shakira inserted herself in the situation and started defending Mama D, basically saying that it's weird that Bambi is even talking about Scrappy or mentioning Scrappy when she's engaged to somebody else, and called it diabolical, and said that Mama D was not wrong for having Scrappy's back, because if somebody was coming for her son, she would do the same thing. And it's giving that Shakira just wanted to be on the show and she couldn't wait to get pregnant by Scrappy because she wanted to be on the show, because it seems like she's kissing ass. Like, it seems like she's trying hard to be on Mama D's good side, Scrappy's good side, because it seems like she actually wants to be with Scrappy, even though it doesn't seem like he wants to be with her. I think it was stupid for her to come for Bambi and defend Mama D, because Mama D ends up dragging every woman that Scrappy has been with. Every woman that we know that Scrappy has been linked to, Mama D has dragged them and put them through a lot of drama, so I don't understand why she thinks she's going to be different. At some point, Mama D is going to get bored trying to drag Bambi, and she's going to end up coming for Shakira, and then I'm not going to have any sympathy for Shakira when Mama D and Scrappy start acting some type of way towards her, because it's bound to happen. Now, Zane is really trying to woo Ashley on this group trip because he wants to move back into the house, and she hasn't really let him come back yet, so he wants to try to get it to where she feels comfortable enough to let him come back. So he tells her that she can ask him anything and he'll answer honestly, and she immediately brings up Carly giving him her hotel room key that he brought up when they were in London, and she found out about it from Amy, and she's upset because, you know, he didn't tell her about it. Now, according to Carly, it was 20 years ago, but according to Zane in this conversation with Ashley, he claims that it was around the time that she was messing around with Jock, which would overlap to when he was with Ashley, if that is the true timeline, because Ashley said that her and Zane have been together for 11 years. Now, if this was in fact before Ashley and Zane got together, then I don't think that she should be worried about it. I'm pretty sure Carly does not want Zane, and I don't think that he wants Carly either. However, I can understand why she would feel awkward, because she didn't know about it. She had to find out about it from another cast member that, you know, Zane basically brought it up in London in front of everybody. So I feel like if he didn't want that situation with Carly brought up, he shouldn't have blurted it out in front of everybody in London, and then they wouldn't be talking about it right now. Now, I don't know if anything happened between Carly and Zane. She said that nothing happened. He said nothing happened. So Ashley really just doesn't know at this point. I think she just feels awkward because she didn't know about it, and now she has to sit across the table from Carly, not knowing what happened between her and Zane and if the times overlapped. So I feel like, you know, that's the reason why she feels some type of way about it. However, I feel like this situation could have been brought up before they went to Cabo, because she's known about this before they left. So Yandy and Mendeecees end up putting together a group dinner for everybody, and as soon as Bambi and Ray end up showing up, that's when Zane immediately starts coming for Ray. He starts saying that he's uncomfortable seeing Bambi with another man because he's used to seeing her with Scrappy. And I love how Sierra jumped in. Usually I'm not really a fan of Sierra, but I was in this episode because she was jumping down Zane's throat. She told him, why is he worried about Bambi moving on with somebody else when Scrappy already moved on from Bambi and he's having a baby with somebody else? And she's absolutely right. It's weird to me that he's jumping down Bambi's throat when Scrappy has been moved on with everybody. Then Zane starts coming for Ray, asking him how long he's known Bambi for, and when Ray says that he's known Bambi for 10 years, that's when Zane immediately tried to imply that Bambi has been talking to Ray the entire time that she was with Scrappy. Now, Bambi immediately tried to tell him that that wasn't the case. She knew Ray before she knew Scrappy, but the two of them did not talk the entire time that her and Scrappy were together. But Zane is not listening, and he starts saying that Bambi knew the entire time that she was going to end up messing with Ray if things ended with Scrappy. That's why she kept him on the back burner. However, that doesn't really add up because Bambi said that she had only been seeing Ray for 3 months by the time they ended up going on this trip. So it's weird to me that he's trying to make it seem like Bambi just jumped right into being with Ray when her and Scrappy have been divorced for quite some time now. And why isn't Zane having the same energy with Scrappy? Because as soon as him and Bambi were even going through their divorce, he immediately started flirting with Erica Dixon again, going on trips with her, messing around with her, and then he brought Diamond back in the picture and he started flirting and messing around with her too. So did he keep them on the back burner because he knew he was going to mess with them as soon as things ended with Bambi? And once again, I am living for Sierra on this group trip because she ends up telling Zane that he needs to focus on himself and his own relationship because when he was in London, he was flirting with everybody, being disrespectful to Ashley. And then Bambi said that, yeah, he was definitely flirting with other women when they were in London, but she doesn't think that he brought anybody back to his hotel. And that's when Ray gets tired of Zane coming for him and he decides that he's going to come for Zane. So after Bambi said that she doesn't think that Zane went back to his hotel with anybody, that's when Ray jumped in and said that she doesn't know if he brought anybody back because who knows what he did when he went back to the hotel, basically implying that he probably did sleep with another woman while he was away. So then Zane gets all upset, basically saying that Ray needs to stay out of his business, even though Zane has been poking at Ray and Bambi this entire time. Like, he's the only one jabbing at them and being rude and disrespectful and involving himself in their business, and now he's mad that Ray's in his business. It's weird. Then Ashley ends up blurting out in front of everybody that she wants to know what happened between Carly and Zane when Carly gave him her hotel room key. So Tilo stops eating and he looks at Carly and he ends up asking her what's going on because obviously he doesn't know about the situation either, and Carly pretends like she doesn't know what Ashley is talking about, but Yandy ends up pulling the girls to the side to talk to Carly and Ashley together, and basically Carly says that she was having a hotel room party and the only reason why she gave Zane the key was because she wanted him to come to the party that she was having, and said that he just assumed that she was giving him the key to sleep with him when that's not what she was trying to do. She also went from saying that it was 20 years ago to saying that it was 2014. So she doesn't really know the timeline either. But honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It happened such a long time ago. Both Zane and Carly claim that nothing happened between the two of them. They didn't sleep together. And basically, Carly's married to somebody else and so is Zane. So I don't feel like it's something that Ashley needs to be concerned about. However, I can understand why she wouldn't necessarily want to be friends with Carly. And look, they don't have to be friends to be in the same area together and not get into a fight. Meanwhile, Zane is over there talking to Mendeecees and Jock, saying that he doesn't like Bambi's new boyfriend and that he doesn't understand why he's there, and he feels like Mendeecees and Jock are trying to replace Scrappy, and I don't understand why he's so worried about Scrappy. The reason why Scrappy is not on the trip is because he's expecting a baby with somebody else. And look, Jock was definitely trying to save Zane this entire time, telling him that he needs to just be quiet and mind his business and that what Bambi has going on has nothing to do with anybody else, but Zane just would not stop talking. So Ray is eating his food and he hears his name being called in the conversation, so he walks over there and he tells Zane that he doesn't understand why he keeps talking about him behind his back because he doesn't even know him enough to judge him the way that he's judging him. And I just felt like, you know, Ray had a lot of patience with Zane because he could have went off on him and swung on him, but he didn't do that. He showed a lot of patience. He was definitely calm. It was Zane that was going off, to be honest with you. He started saying that he looked like a fake future and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, Zane was doing the most. So at this point, Jock is standing in between Ray and Zane to make sure nothing gets physical, and Bambi comes over there because she hears and sees all the chaos going on, and she hears Ray telling Zane to mind his business about what he has going on with Bambi because it has nothing to do with him. And he's absolutely right. Everybody else sat there and minded their business because they know that it's all right for Bambi to move on with her life because Scrappy has been moved on. He's moved on before they even got divorced. But I will say I do like the way that Ray had Bambi's back because it showed that, you know, he's not going to let anybody come for her the way that Zane was, because Zane started out coming for Bambi. He wasn't necessarily coming for Ray, he was coming for Bambi, so I'm glad that he checked Zane on that. And while Zane is in Cabo on a couples trip arguing on behalf of Scrappy, Scrappy is literally in New York City getting ready to have a baby with another woman, and he does end up having a baby. And look, I'm happy that she had a safe and healthy delivery and that they have a healthy baby. However, I thought it was weird that they ended up pulling out the alcohol after she gave birth. Like, why do you need to drink right now? Like, drinking is the last last thing you should be worried about when you just had a baby. That was kind of odd to me. But at the very end of this episode, Kendra ended up FaceTiming Carly, and she was trying to see what was going on with her and make sure she was okay, because she said that she had walked by Carly and Tilo's room and she heard Tilo yelling at Carly really badly, and so she wanted to make sure everything was good. Now, she did say that even though her and Carly are not friends, because she would never be friends with Carly, considering the fact that Carly dated Jock, she still felt like it was necessary to check up on her. And I saw some people in the comment section saying that, you know, nobody wants Jock, so Kendra needs to just be quiet. And it's like, Kendra's not saying that, you know, Carly wants Jock. She's just saying that she's not about to build a friendship with somebody who dated her husband at one point. I mean, most people are not going to befriend their husband's ex, so I think it's weird that people were coming for Kendra over that. But when Kendra got on the phone with Carly, Carly's stuttering over her words. She's not able to get out a full sentence. She says that, you know, he saw a recording and he got upset, and that's the reason why he was yelling at her, and she needs to go run to the airport to make sure he's not leaving. But then in the preview for next week's episode, we hear Carly telling Tilo over the phone that she didn't record him. So is it a recording of her or is it a recording of him? I don't know. This just seems like another tragic relationship for Carly. I don't understand why she keeps jumping into relationships. I understand she doesn't want to be alone, but she has a lot of work to do on herself before she can be in a healthy, stable relationship, because I don't know if this relationship is going to work if they're already arguing like this. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.